Hello, I'm Dr. Karen Remick, and I'm Out of My Head Innovations. Welcome to my pitch deck. If 90% of anything is crap, that means that there are about 21,000 worthwhile inventions every year that never make it to market. But that's not the biggest problem. This is Sarah. Sarah works full-time and has 2 kids. Sarah also came up with an idea for a product that would keep her kids from scratching their mosquito bites. How does Sarah get her idea developed into market? Currently, her choices are to patent it herself and then try to sell or license the patent, or to create a startup and market it herself. Due to her work schedule and family, Sarah doesn't have the time or know-how to pursue these options, so the invention goes nowhere. There are no data on the number of people like Sarah in the U.S., but we can make some conservative guesstimations. In the U.S., there's 325 million people. A quarter of them are children, so we have about 244 million adults. If 1 in 100 adults has an invention idea, we have 2.44 million inventors. If 99% of the inventions aren't worth developing, we have 24,400 good inventors. That's 2 different ways I've come up with an estimate of about 20,000 unmarketed inventions. In the last few years, my competitors, who you'll meet later, have managed to get an average of about 60 inventions to market per year. That's either through licensing or funding startups. That means it would take more than 406 years for them to bring to market all of the available inventions. And that's assuming each inventor only came up with 1 idea. Out of My Head Innovations can help the Sarahs and work to get those 20,000 inventions marketed by providing the resources and knowledge that Sarah lacks. When we find promising inventions, we'll follow a 4-step process. First, we'll research it, making sure the invention solves a problem, checking for other available solutions, determining the cost to produce, and finding out where in the process the inventor is. In the second step, Out of My Head Innovations would get provisional patent and trademarks for the product if needed, get production-level prototypes made, user test the prototype and make sure any necessary changes to the design are made, get a utility patent, build an online following for the product, and make a production run. Step 3 is selling the product. Out of My Head Innovations would sell the product using an Amazon third-party account, use Amazon services to store and ship, advertise the product on social media and Amazon, determine what other distribution channels are appropriate for the innovation, and collect sales data. Step 4 is implementing the best possible distribution system for the invention. We'll be expanding the distribution by selling it to brick-and-mortar stores, licensing to a manufacturer, wholesaling, selling by catalog, selling online, or whatever other channel we chose in the last step. We can reach out to inventors, who are our primary customers, by using social networking and special interest websites. Since we're actually going to be selling their product, we'll also want to be marketing to the different target audiences for each invention. Out of My Head Innovations will have 2 primary competitors, InventRight and the Big Idea Group. InventRight provides counselors and free videos to educate inventors on how to approach companies to get their inventions licensed. They announce a product being licensed about once a week, so that means about 52 inventions get marketed per year. The Big Idea Group is the closest to what we propose, as it helps inventors develop their product and provides seed funding for startups without significant cost to the inventors. However, it's still up to the inventors to license the product or create the startup. The Big Idea Group has announced that they've brought 60 inventions to market in 9 years. That gives them an average of about 7 per year. The 2 groups total about 60 inventions per year. With a demand more than 400 times that, I tend to think of these groups as co-workers rather than competition. The funding model used by Out of My Head Innovations is that proceeds from previous inventions fund the development of future inventions. So getting this company started depends on getting that first product to market. The first product through the cycle is the Litter Defender, a dog-proof cat litter box. At this point, a patent has been filed, trademark assigned, and prototypes ordered. User testing will consist of giving prototypes to pet store and veterinarian employees who own both dogs and cats, and getting their feedback after about 2 weeks. Since the Litter Defender is one of my inventions, 100% of the proceeds can be funneled back into the company. To market the Litter Defender, we'll use social media to develop an online following prior to product release. We'll advertise both on Amazon and on online special interest sites applicable to the invention's target market. For the Litter Defender, that would be places like I Can Has Cheeseburger. Estimating sales for a new product is mostly speculation, however it needs to be done. For the Litter Defender, I estimated total sales based on information from a local pet store and generalized to the whole United States. I figured it would take 18 months to reach a steady sales rate and used a sigmoid function to estimate monthly sales. Using these numbers, I estimated costs and income for the first 12 months and came up with a cash flow prediction. I don't know if using a sigmoid function is correct or how accurate my sales estimate is. With more product releases, I can determine a better release function and sales estimate algorithm. Things don't always go according to plan. How will we account for failures? Out-of-my-head innovations can exit at any point in the process. If a new product hits the market while we're testing a prototype, we just exit at that point. Also, product development costs are much lower than startup costs, $20,000 to $50,000 rather than $1 to $2 million. So even a slow seller has a potential to make costs. Proceeds from previous hot-selling products can cover numerous poor-selling ones. A single $1 million product can cover 20 to 50 failures. Since Out of My Head is an LLC, we can keep a fund available for these cases. So, who's running this show? Right now, me. I'm a scientist, a software engineer, and a business owner. Each of these have given me some of the skills I need to do this work. You may have noticed that my marketing plan is a little weak and vague. That's because I've not filled the position for my sales and marketing wizard. If you know who this is, please let me know or send them my contact information. So far, I've been bootstrapping the Litter Defender in order to get it to market. I've got the patent and trademark applications filed and have been granted the trademark. I have had the 3D CAD files made and the prototypes have been ordered. I expect them to be delivered in May. I have the testing parameters laid out and some of the marketing planned. Because I'm stubborn and willful, out-of-my-head innovations will happen. The speed at which I can get inventions to market and the amount of work I'm able to shop out to experts will depend entirely on the funding I'm able to obtain. Thank you for your time and attention.